Welcome to Red, the home of inflatable stand-up paddleboards. Here at Red, we're proud to work with the global network of trusted retailers, dealers and partners to deliver you the very best advice and personal recommendations. Green Water Sports are no exception. With over 30 years experience on the water, we've been working with them for over a decade to deliver the very best product knowledge about Red Paddle Co boards. If you have any questions at all, drop the team a line and they'll be happy to help. In this video, we're going to take a closer look at the two new 12'6" sport boards in the Future Series lineup from Red Paddle Co. Now, both boards are 12'6" in length, so they're the brilliant boards for upgrading your paddling, especially if you're looking to maybe take part in some events, get a challenge booked in, or maybe take on some racing or club events. Because of that 12'6" in length, they adhere to racing regulations. Now, what 12'6" means is that they also have fantastic glide. So both of these boards have long, drawn out nose shapes to offer improved efficiency through the water, cut through any chop and rough stuff, but also allow that water to speed down the rails and off the tail of the board. Both boards are 4.7 inches thick. This is extremely important. It means it lowers your centre of gravity as a rider. It gives you more stability and therefore more control, but ultimately it gives you a more connected feel to the water and allows you to really control that board as you start to improve your paddling technique. They also use a material called MSL 800. Now this is a next generation material by Red and it's exclusive to us. It's been over 5 years in the making and ultimately it makes these boards super lightweight. Not only does that make it easier to transport and carry, but also it means that when you're on the water, it reduces fatigue and improves acceleration. The Sport board is 21.5 pounds, whereas the Sport Plus is 19.5 pounds. So they're extremely light boards. Both boards also use the patented RSS stiffening system on the boards. Now this is a batten which inserts in the board at just after 1 psi and it increases stiffness by up to 40%. In real terms, that means it adds about 2 psi. So if your board's at 15 psi, it's going to give you the stiffness of about a 17 psi board as an example. It means that you get better stiffness at lower pressures. And that stiffness ultimately is more control, more stability, and that rock solid feeling that you're going to want from your board, especially if there's any chop or waves. So that's the similarities of the boards. Let's take a closer look at some of the differences and in the shape that really starts to show up. So starting on the 12'6" sport board. This board was designed with people looking to upgrade from an all-round board. So perhaps you have a 10'6" ride or a 10'6", 10'8" all-round board. So by that I mean a rounded nose and rounded tail. Maybe you've had that board for a while and you're looking to improve your technique, go a little bit further, and every time you take that paddle stroke, you just want a little bit more speed. This is the board for you. Not only is it 12'6" inches long, it's also 30 inches wide. Now, if you're on a 32 or even a 34-inch board, don't let that put you off. 30 inches combined with that 4.7-inch thickness and the length gives a feeling of a much more stable board, much wider board. So it feels like a 32-inch wide board, but you have that speed and that efficiency of a 30-inch board. You can see where the widest part of the standing area is just behind the standing area. So if your feet are either side of that handle there, it's just behind you. The reason for that is it increases the volume in the tail of the board. That increases that feeling of stability, but also means that you get a wider standing area towards the back of the board and a wider square tail at the very back of the board. That means that as you step back to do any buoy turns or step back turns, or maybe even some surfing or downwinding, you've got a nice stable platform to be able to trim the board from and put your weight onto your back foot. This board is the ultimate upgrade board for someone looking to really get the most out of their paddling and take that next step on their paddle journey. In contrast, the 12'6" Sport Plus is a slightly different shape. It's a narrower shape at 28 inches wide. Now, the Plus effectively means add more speed. This board is built more around speed. So if you're maybe a paddler that's been paddling for a while, you've already improved your technique, your abilities there, you're used to taking on some challenges and some events and some racing, then this board is going to give you that step up in speed, but also still have that versatility and that stability in comparison to, say, an out-and-out race board. The widest point is just in front of the standing area, which means that it tapers down into this long tail section. It's a very sleek looking board, and that tapering and that tailoring of that board right down to that tail section reduces the volume in the back of the board. By doing that, it gives you much more agility and control. And if you're a lighter rider, then that's going to give you a lot more ability to be able to sink the tail of the board and control it, especially in race formats going around a buoy turn. This board ultimately is made for riders up to around 200 pounds. In contrast, the sport board is made for riders over 240 pounds. Despite there's only 25 litre difference in terms of volume, the shape does make a huge difference in terms of the overall performance, and therefore the riders and paddlers these boards are made for. Both boards come complete with the same features, so multiple grab handles on the nose and tail and centre of the board to make it easy to carry this board over longer distances and any portages. You've got your flat bungee tie down systems for easily taking cargo with you if you're looking to do longer touring expeditions. That's absolutely essential, so you can take that dry bag full of essential kit, a change of clothes and any food and sustenance that you need. You then have this extra large cushioned deck pad, and if you're looking to spend more time standing on your board, you're going to want that comfort. That's where this deck pad comes in. It's got a nice comfortable cushioned feel to it, but it's got this red emboss all over the whole deck, which gives you a nice amount of traction when on the board, but not so much that it digs in if you're just wearing any swimwear. And then finally, to orientate yourself towards the back of the board here, you have your square cut tail pad. So as you stand back, you're going to feel that textural difference underfoot. So to look down, you can orientate yourself while still focusing on the conditions. So there you have it, the two 12.6 Sports in the Future Series range. Despite being the same length, they're very different in performance. The 12.6 Sport, perfect for riders up to 240 pounds, designed ultimately for people to look to upgrade from an all-round board, whereas the 12.6 Sport for riders up to 200 pounds, but that speed and that efficiency giving you that versatility as well to be able to get out there and take on some new adventures. If you have any questions about these boards, get in contact with the Green Water Sports team today and they'll be very happy to match you up with your perfect board. Happy paddling.